Welcome back, guys. So I'm back with a new asset for 2D, and this time I've created an endless parallaxing effect. So this is just parallaxing, but the layers itself will repeat again and again infinitely. So I've named it infinite parallaxing. So anyhow, this asset works perfectly fine with low FPS, and there is no glitches, no hiccups when the FPS drops. Right now I've added a flip-flop mode in my blueprint, and I'm showing you as I press a key. So yeah, the FPS drops to 15, but you literally see no difference between the parallaxing. So this is very low. 15 FPS is nearly, you don't want to make your game 15 FPS, but there are sudden drops, so I'm testing it with 15. I've tested it lower, but right now in the recording somehow I'm testing 15 FPS. So anyhow, so this is the flip-flop mode I was talking about. Okay, if we switch it to 30 somehow, I don't know why I'm switching it to 30, but okay, so if you switch to 30, and if you see right now, there is no difference at all. You won't be able to notice any difference. So yeah, this is very flexible, and also you see my asset is running at 120 fps. That is the limit of my current system. So yeah, so how to set it up? You see plenty of stuff is going on. These also these sprites and all, these are all available for commercial purposes. You can use however you want. So coming to the setting purpose, okay, we come to details. So first of all, you'll see these background colors. Okay, let's just focus on the post-processing volume for now. So this post-processing volume is really important. Like it will set the ambience for your scene. So if you want your scene to have that tint when the sun goes down and sun rises, so you have to set it by post-processing, because we are not using any dynamic lighting as it is 2D. So the sprites are set to unlit right now. You can use dynamic lighting also, but that will be okay. I'm getting off topic. It is a totally different thing. So for now I'm doing this tinting by post-processing. You can do the same thing with camera also, but anyhow I'm doing right now with the post-processing. So you make sure you just add the post-processing volume, and you just select the post-processing volume from here. Okay, this drop key, and you just select the post-processing volume. You don't need to set anything in the construction itself, in the constructor. So I'm setting it to endless. You don't need to set it to endless manually. So anyhow, yeah, that is for the post-processing volume. You have to select it right now, and that's it. Other thing is day and night cycle. Okay, right now as you saw, the day and night cycle was very fast. If I set it to 120 seconds, now you can see it's just in seconds. If you set it to 20 seconds, one cycle will finish in 20 seconds. Now 120 second means one cycle finishes in 120 seconds. So coming to the background, these three colors are the gradient for your background. You can I've created this asset in such a way that you can have your background anyhow you want dynamically, because I wanted I've done this because I wanted to change the colors of my background dynamically, because during the night you want your sky to be a different color, and like if you want to add some seasons or some rainy season, something like that, so you want your background to change color dynamically. So that is what I've done. I've done it for layers also, but not to this extent. Background, you can change the gradient of your background anyhow you want. These are just the variables I have instanced, and so they are instanceable, and you can change the settings, and these will directly be affecting inside the material. So change the value of this gradient. You can lump these three colors, and anyhow you can set your gradient. So next thing is these background layers. So here you will be setting your background layers. I made it into an array. That is because I believe sometime like you would need your next to the background layer also to change color. So anyhow, some that I've made it to be an array. So you see these locations and all, you can change all the transformations, rotations and locations. And this darkest color, you just ignore this for the background. I'm using the same structure as I'm using in the layers, so it's just the same structure, that is why it is showing the darkest color. This doesn't concern the background layers. And use custom material, yeah, this is a bool, and if you untick this, then none of the stuff that is happening during night time the sky changes color, nothing will happen. It will just use your sprite, that's it. So you can disable it also. I've created a bool for that. So this is just use custom material. Alright, for the stars, I've created a totally different structure for stars, because I wanted something to control the opacity of the stars differently than the other things, right? So the opacity of the stars, as you see right now, is controlled separately, and it is also controlled with the timeline, but I wanted something different, right? So you can, in this stars, you can add your fog also, and you can control your opacity, but I limited myself to stars. But in my current project, I'm using it as fogs also. I'm adding fog and other things, and I'm controlling the opacity of those things also. So next up is this parallaxing layers. Simple as it gets. You can just put your parallaxing layers here. So layer 1, layer 2, add the parallaxing effect from -1 to +1. +1 means it will continuously follow you without any delay, and -1 is continuously going back against you, means as the same speed of the camera but in the opposite direction. So you can lerp it. As you see, there's a sun and moon cycle is going on. Now in this also you have this custom materials, use custom materials, right? So these custom materials, here also I provided a bool. So if you untick this, only your current sprites will be used. This darkest colors also will not be set, because I'm using a dynamic material function inside, and that will create a dynamic material for each of your sprite. If you untick this bool, none of that is going to work, and it will just be your sprites, nothing else. Nothing will change, because this darkest color, you can set your darkest color, and as you see, if I go back, yeah, so as you see, the sprites are changing color as a day turns into night, right? You see the colors have been totally changed, and they are lerping from your original color to these darkest color. So you can change this dynamically also. That is why I've set it like that. So for the boundaries, if you go inside the infinite parallaxing, this big as name layer folder, you see the parallax layer, you go inside sprites, you can see your canvas size, right? You can just check your background sprite or background texture, and that will be the maximum extent of your boundaries if you don't know already. So you can check it like that. So this is important because I have set it in such a way that once the camera reaches that certain point where the boundary is going to be exited, right? So there is a function that checks for that, and if the boundary is exceeded, so what it is doing is it has one more array. I have created a copy of your array. Whatever you're creating here inside the blueprint, there is a copy of your array, and the layers will be swapped from that array to in front or wherever the layers are needed, right? Next thing is the spline position. Yeah, the spline points you can set however you want. I just created like 7, right? Yeah, 7 points, and these are also I've made to be instance editable. Also I've shown the tooltips, so you can just drag these tooltips around and your sun's position will vary. So yeah, right now I'll change the spline position, and as you see, the sun will follow the trajectory like that. So you can just anyhow you can change the shapes, because these tooltips are available right at the editor itself, right? So also this I have also created this move spline This is just a variable and it will add the offset here and there wherever you want. After you create your spline, you want to offset it just completely, so for that I've created this one. And that's it guys, just easy. It is very easy to set up and there is nothing much to it. Also, one thing more you need to remember is that right now in this instance I'm casting to the third person character, which is the mannequin. I'm not showing the mannequin, but I'm casting to the mannequin because I want the reference to the camera. But right now in your blueprint you can cast to your own character, and other than that it's just in drag and drop. So thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed this.